G'day guys, Mick from Mick's Aussie Garden. Got a few people coming around to have a look at the garden this week, so let's see if all the effort was worth it. I've got two bunches. You see this one I've got to cut off. I left it on pretty much just to show you guys. I cut them off because they're starting to split with the rain. They're still edible, but we'll cut that one off. This one, it'll stay on a bit longer. I'm leaving it on until we get nearer to our first frost. But who thought you could grow bananas in Australia in here? I wouldn't have believed the veggies would grow this much. Seriously, when you consider the last 3 years I've got virtually nothing, and this year absolutely everything's bloody come up. I think the neighbours will be happy because they'll be good for veggies this year. Brussels sprouts, more peas, more Brussels sprouts. If I don't mind the Brussels sprouts, don't stand down when do we want it?
Solar panel, the top across the front, and
I've covered the roof over here. Now I made some little frost shelters over some of the beds, just out of some shade mesh and a bit of egg pipe, just to try and protect them a little bit from the frost.
How long ago did you move in here, Mick?
5 years ago. 5 years I've been here. 5 years last month.
Have you got one particular area getting them delivered here from out there?
The trees?
Yeah.
You mean where I get them from?
Yeah.
I've got two. There's Garden Express in Victoria and Daly's fruit trees in Queensland. Big thing at the moment is the great time. This Rio mesh, and I've got two more panels to go because I want to go to the end of the shed, and I've got to put them up before spring so this grape can climb up over the top.
Yeah.
And it's a bit hard to tell now, but this last season when this thing had leaves on it still, you can see how far it's grown. Really from here back it's already covered, and that's the first year it's grown up here, so I've got to obviously give it with a prune, but now that the mesh is up I can actually prune it to come up over the mesh.
solar panel, the top across the front, and she's what she said.
Okay.
And this is something I don't think anyone else in town grow. Tamarillas, tree tomatoes. Now, it's late in the season, they're finished real. Even at this size, you can still eat them. Can I pick that red one you're looking at?
Yeah.
And I'll get you one, Paddy. I'm looking for a nice red one. You don't want one, do you, Tony?
No thanks.
Have you tried it before?
No.
Well, before you eat it, there's a method. Is it? Yeah. If you're going to eat it. Sorry?
We're going to eat them.
Yeah. Just break the top off. Now the stem goes about a half inch into the fruit. So bite the top off. That gets rid of the stem. And then just squeeze.
Lovely.
It's a different flavour in it. It's sweet, but it's savoury as well. It's not like some sweet fruit, it's just sweetness. You get them when they're red, and they do have a little bit of aftertaste of tomato. They're not a tomato.
Yeah.
They have that little tomato aftertaste. If you get them when they're orange, they're a lot more tart. Still nice,
Very nice.
but it's quite tasty.
I like that.
The stuff that's attached to the skin, if you squeeze it out, eat that too. The only thing you don't eat is the skin.
I don't like that.
It's the sort of thing you either like it, or you hate it. Oh, maybe I'll just turn it.
They weren't horrible, just not a fan of them.
But
I like that.
the plants only live for about 7 or 8 years apparently. So probably every 5 or 6 years you should replace them. But I'm looking at it and I'm going to give it a go. I reckon they will grow really well from cuttings. You can grow them well from seeds apparently. I've been trying from seeds, but I'm going to try cuttings in spring.
Yes.
They're tamarillas. They're also known as tree tomatoes, but they're not tomatoes. When I moved in, the bottom half was full of builder's rubble from when they did renos to the house.
Really?
And then the top was full of sand, and all you could see was the very top edge. And when I moved in, I thought it was just a garden bed with a concrete edge until I hit it with a bobcat and it didn't move.
Mhm.
So I started digging and I thought, crap, I've got a pond. Wasn't in my plans. The idea originally was just to have the garden beds to the end of the path come straight across.
Oh, yeah.
And anyway, so I started digging it out. Well, dug out by hand. Got to be honest, the bottom half was a bit of a pain with all the builder's rubble. But I started at this end, which is a bit of a shame. If I started at that end, I might have stopped. This is the reason I built the house, or one of the reasons. I fret every time we get a strong wind, and I'm going to come out the back and ponds just fall them over. We had a guy, a horticulturist in the other day,
Yeah.
and here it is. Probably it'll be an original tree. He reckons it could date from before the township. The town's will be here 100 years so. But the plans here, and I've got a monstera, which as long as the frost doesn't kill it, I want to grow up the tree, and I'd like to put some tree ferns in. You'd be familiar with the tree ferns in West. Not so much in South Australia. And in an arid area, you would think just tree ferns are rainforesty type thing. You wouldn't need. But this area here, particularly in the summer, from about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, full shade. This tree just shaded this area.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. And I've got water in here, so I can irrigate. But I reckon that the tree fruit wouldn't love this area. But I saw that down the tip.
Yeah.
I said to the guy down the tip, I said, what are you doing with that? And he said, putting it in your trailer. I said, thank you.
Yeah.
I do have to rebuild it. It's a bit rickety.
It's called repurposing, Mick.
Repurposing. But it fits just nicely in my little old car.
Yeah, no.
It won't be a fish pond, it'll be a plunge pool. You know those 48-degree days we had during summer?
Yeah.
That's where I'm sick.
Yeah.
And the fish, I always said the fish can come and eat the dead skin, but at my age there might not be anything left to get out of the pond. Take the whole hide here. Long, I'm hoping I've got a few years left in me to do all this stuff. So
You
we'll
have.
see, yeah.
You will. This is what keeps you alive, Mick, doing this stuff.
Well, yeah. That and 13 kids.
Yeah, mainly feline kids.
Yes. Yeah, for those who haven't seen before, I started with one cat 4 years ago, and at the moment I can wake up and have anything up to 13 cats. Well, I was trying to, there's a particular lady in town, you know, Helen.
Oh, Helen, yeah.
I was trying to get her to come down, and I will get her down at some stage, because her son and daughter-in-law owned a house before me. So she's probably one of the few people I know who know what it looked like before I hit it. And it's hard. I mean, you look at it and you go, yeah, it's a yard. But I remember what it was like.
You remember the red dirt?
When I got, and the shed and the water tank that was full of water that I had to empty and try and roll out of half full of sludge and all.
Just standing here, you can see how you can paint everything. It's just lovely, neat. It's worth looking at. You can, stroll along, stroll around.
Absolutely.
I spend a lot of time watching YouTube, but I spend a lot of time in the backyard.
You've trimmed it up and it still looks natural,
Yeah.
you know?
But that really is the best thing on the block. Yeah, if that tree wasn't here, this would be just another house.
Yeah, I'd believe that too.
So anyone can do it. And it's not a big block, it's a third of an acre. So it's marginally bigger than than a normal house block. Normal house block, now suburban house block's a fifth of an acre. That third of an acre includes the house of the shed as well. So that takes up a bit. And in the garden beds, there's only about 24 square metres of garden bed there. But you could do it in tubs. I mean, you saw how dense the garden beds were planted. So, you could, if you had a couple of 20-litre buckets even, you could grow. Yeah.
Well, thanks for that tour, Mick. That was
Thank you.
pretty cool. And you should be commended on the amount of effort and work you put into all this.
Yeah, it's been a labour of love. I find it hard to get motivated. I can't go out and work for 8 hours a day. I'll go out and I'll do maybe an hour, and that's it for me. I'm getting too old to be doing 8-hour days doing this sort of stuff. But if you got the time, motivation, a little bit of space. I mean, seriously, one of these beds. This is one of the smaller. You'll see there will be one of the smaller beds. It's probably 1.5 square metres in that. And if you planted it right, you know, that it feeds you for a while.
Mm.
The only other thing I'd say is plant what you eat.
Yeah.
I mean, last year I planted kale. Never tried kale before. Grew like the clavers. Tasted like, yeah, not
Like kale.
Yeah, not a fan of kale. So that's something I won't grow again. But everything else I'm growing here is stuff I will eat. Anyway, okay.
Thanks again, Mick.
Good, get lost.
All right.
Thanks, That was good.
Who used and abused?
All right. We'll catch you later.
Just want to thank all the people that came during the week. Had about 24 come through, so that wasn't too bad, particularly considering it was a home game at the footy. But no, it was a good day. We had a good chat. We shared a few ideas. I've got a few more ideas for some projects to do here. And hopefully we can do this again down the track. Thanks, guys.